Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to teach you some of the best traps out there in chess so that you can absolutely destroy every single chess player that comes in your way. Believe me, if you follow my advice, you will instantly become Magnus Carlsen.
So, the first trap we have in our list is the fried liver. It starts with e4. Your opponent mirrors you. You develop your kingside knight, they develop their queenside knight. You develop your bishop, they develop their other knight. And as you can clearly see, this pawn is under attack, and we defend it by playing this. Not only does it defend this pawn, it also attacks this. If you're below 700 on chess.com or 1100 in Chess, you will win many games as players will not know how to deal with your attack. It's seriously amazing and you'll win a lot of games that way. However, if you are above 700 on chess.com or 1100 in Chess, then it is recommended not to play this as it can be countered easily. And the way you counter it is the second trap on our list. Now, let's flip the board for black's perspective. Our opponent plays this, we mirror them. We do normal developing moves, and then our opponent plays this. Given that the bishop and the knight are both attacking this square, the thing that we do is block the bishop. Our opponents usually take with the pawn, and now we move this knight here. We don't recapture, or else our opponent can sacrifice his knight and get lots of attacking ideas in the future. So we thrust this knight forward. They push their pawn forward because they see that they reveal an attack onto this pawn again. We take the pawn with our queen, and now they think that we are just another bozo who has fallen for their plan, as they take this pawn and fork our queen and our rook. Oops, sorry, my trackpad. We just step our queen to c6. They always take the rook, and this bishop is free, but we don't take it. Instead, we take this pawn, threatening the rook. Our opponents want to hang on to the advantage they just got from capturing our rook, so they move the rook here. And now there are two options. You can go here. If you're high rated, I think it's good. Otherwise, I won't recommend. The stronger option is to go here. Our opponent has two options: defend with the queen, or defend with the bishop. If he defends with the queen, we just take the queen and win a queen for free. And after this, it he has a rook and a knight for a queen, but this knight will easily be taken very soon. So instead, our opponent thinks he's smart. He thinks he's dodged all of our efforts and puts his bishop here. How smart of him! How smart of our opponent! If only he had realized that knight to f3 is a smothered checkmate. This bishop is pinned due to the queen. Now, in a very similar fashion, We can play the Blackburn Shilling Gambit. Our opponent plays e4, we mirror, we do the normal developing moves, and in this position, we put our knight forward immediately instead of saving it for later. If they take this, then you just got to fight it out. But if they do not take our knight and instead decide to capture the free pawn, we just move our queen to this powerful square. We attack the knight and we also attack this pawn. And by the way, if you noticed, we just walk into a fork. The rook and queen are both attacked by the knight. There is no way to save both. So I guess all we have now is to capture this and attack the rook. After all, he can move the rook, but our rook is trapped. What a sad ending. Just kidding, we just do this check and it's just like the previous anti-fried liver. Our opponent has two choices. He can lose the queen or he can go here and get smothered mated. Let's flip the board for white side now. We do exactly what we did, but now our opponent responds with bishop to c5. Now what do we do? There are a lot of natural developing moves, and but one move that they will never expect is this. This is the Evans Gambit. They usually take with the bishop, then you just push your pawn and the bishop retreats. And now we develop this pawn attacking the bishop. They capture it. And we don't capture, we just castle. They usually capture the second pawn because of the ooga booga mindset. If you capture one pawn, you have to capture a second pawn. This bishop will sacrifice itself now, as when the king takes, this queen forks the bishop and the king. Despite being 2 pounds down, the position is plus 1.3 for white because there are a lot of ways to win back the pawns. Okay, just ignore this move. Okay, I was just trying to demonstrate. And now, if you are below the rating of 400 in chess.com or around 700 to 800 in Chess, this will win you a lot of games. Develop this pawn. Your opponent responds in kind. This knight is NPC. Just move this queen. Your opponent thinks you're dumb. Why? Because every opening principle ever taught in mankind says that you should not move your queen early. But here it is. They usually defend this pawn either with the pawn here or this knight. And now we develop this bishop. They usually play this because it develops a knight and it also attacks your queen. And now we retreat our queen having accomplished nothing. Just kidding, we just take this pawn and it's checkmate. And by the way, in this position, many players play this, which lets you win a free rook. You play e4, your opponent responds, you develop this knight, and your opponent plays this. This is a really bad move And the reason why is astounding. Here, you can simply sacrifice the knight. Practically everyone takes it, and now you give this check. And now the king has two options. And now black has two options. Move. They can move their king over here. They can move their king over here and eventually get demolished by the ensuing attack, or they can just do this and give up their rook. Either way, black's position is completely ruined within the span of 4 moves. However, there is just one thing, and that is your opponent has to be dumb enough to play it.